The world has nothing to offer me anymore. Man, I used to literally have so much money coming in. When I was like 25, 26, I got really deep into just investing, into stocks, into crypto, ran up a following, was like literally just making disgusting amounts of money constantly. And it wasn't even unstable money because again I had a platform. I still have the platform, I just don't use it, but I had a platform where I could just generate money from words. I was traveling around the world, like the most beautiful women were into me, beautiful girlfriend, perfect apartment, all this stuff, bro. And I'm just really now getting to the point where I'm realizing, and I don't know why it took me so long to realize, but I really realized that none of that stuff matters, bro. In fact, I'm actually kind of having an issue. It was my birthday recently, so I guess technically a midlife crisis. I'm 31. Crazy. But I'm having an issue recently of like even like putting myself in the mindset of where I need to. It's not that I don't care about money. Money is great. You need money, right? It's not that I don't care about women. It's not that I don't care about my purpose and all these other things. It's more, I'm at this point of intense clarity where I'm just like, why do I need to immerse myself in worldly pleasures, for example? Like, a lot of people genuinely don't understand what it's like to have the ability to get almost any girl you want and to just willingly be celibate. Like, that's not something that computes with most people. Most people think I'm lying. I've slipped up. Absolutely, I've slipped up. I'm not going to sit here and act like I haven't, but like consciously making that decision to do that, consciously making the decision to stay away from drugs and to just not like just be entranced in this world, right? Like to consciously make those decisions to not be a slave to money and make that my idol and all these other things, right? All these other things that men are told, right? We've talked about, for example, on this channel, how the red pill has misled a lot of men. A lot of men think the absolute pinnacle of life is being like someone that has like a ton of cars and like a ton of women living a Dan Bilzerian lifestyle and just unlimited abundance. Bro, I'm telling you, from the perspective of a guy that has literally had way too much. I didn't even realize how much I had until I really took time to reflect. Money, cars, clothes, the house, like everything, bro. It doesn't matter. Like at this point, genuinely, the world has nothing to offer me. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. Like I've seen women who are like nines and tens that I've gone on dates with that try to play these games, and I'm like, okay, well, we're just gonna go our separate ways, and they're like confused. I've seen people offer me tons of money, like a lot, like a lot. When I say a lot of money, I mean a lot of money, right? Disgusting amounts of money, and I'm just like, it goes against my values. And I think, a lot of it for me right now is tapping into the idea of the Bible again, tapping into the idea of God, getting closer to God, started praying my rosary, started, I'm still trying to find a church actually. That's one thing that I'm really lacking on. But, I didn't go to church for a really long time because I personally had problems with the church and the way that they just did things. Like I'm not gonna get into it, but I did have my problems with the church, but I don't want to let my problems with the church become this like reason for not going. I don't think that's a good enough reason. But yeah, no, like as soon as I started kind of getting closer to these ideas, and man, it's so crazy because when you go without things, right? For example, I've fasted in the past. I fasted for 3 days. That was the longest I ever went. I do want to go longer one time for the one time. gonna try and make it a monthly practice too, to go for like, at least 48 hours. But when I fasted for the first time, it sucked because I didn't do it right. I didn't get the salt water. I just wasn't doing it right. But when I did the second time the correct way, no food, 3 days, I really realized we eat way too much. And like, it's the same thing with being celibate. We get into relationships way too fast with people we don't even know. And then I start to realize I don't need to be eating as much. Like, there's a lot of myths. For one, for example, like, did y'all know that the reason that veganism is like kind of pushed as like, what do you call it, like a soy boy thing, is because of lobbying and a lot of political stuff that was going on in the background with people that were in the meat market. They were trying to basically lobby against these people and say that it was bad to eat, when in reality you don't even need as much protein as people say, like the pound per. And this is coming from somebody that is literally 180 pounds, like 10% body fat, like been working out for a really long time. I really know what I'm talking about with this stuff. You don't even need that much protein. We just eat way too much. That's people's problem. Like, especially in the US, we eat way too much. And like, same thing with hookup culture. We just sleep around with people way too much. We jump into relationships way too fast. We jump into relationships out of convenience. It's crazy. Think about it. A relationship really only genuinely works when it's two people that are in their corner doing their thing, shaking and moving, making things happen, pursuing God, pursuing their purpose, and then they just kind of meet along the path. And these two people are already whole. These two people are dating themselves. The concept of dating yourself is something you should do. I really do think that people should become more comfortable with dating themselves. But, it's either you have one person that's doing that and the other person that's not, and they drain this person's energy, or you have two people that are not doing those things and they drain both of their energy and they're just in chaos. That's why most divorces happen. That's why most breakups happen. It's because y'all were not even supposed to be together. Y'all are skipping the process. God is supposed to place this person in your life. You're trying to skip the process, not do the work internally on yourself. Then you keep wondering why all women suck, or like when women say, I hate all men. It's like, bro, you have not done the work on yourself. Any woman that says that, that's the biggest red flag you could tell me. Like, straight up. Doesn't even matter how pretty you are. Doesn't matter how well you're talking. Doesn't matter what your values are. If you say that, that just shows me you haven't done the internal work on yourself. Right? And my point is this, all that stuff to me, even in a perfect world, right, where I do meet somebody along that path, the same path that I'm trying to go down and am going down, and I ideally, make money in a way that is truly aligned with my purpose, which deep down is always going to be creating things, right? Which I have been doing, but I feel like not to my essence. Like, I've always created things online. I've always made money. I still make money from creating things online, but I don't feel like it's truly coming from my true core essence. You know what I mean? But even if I was getting all those things, I still genuinely need to put this into perspective, not only for y'all, but for myself. We're going to die one day. And this is just like the demo. Like, this life we live in is like the demo of Grand Theft Auto. You're going to die one day. Then you have to play the real game. And that game lasts for eternity. And I feel like people don't take that serious. You can only take it serious once you step away from the world, right? Like, once you detach from these things I'm talking about, from, just like watching what we watch, like movies we watch, and inappropriate adult films we watch, and hookup culture, and obsession with money and hustle culture and all these things. Once we detach from these ideas, detach from overconsumption of food, it's like you start to realize I really truly can go without, and you start to feel really clear-headed and good. And it's almost alien, right? Like, people will literally sometimes try to have a conversation with me And it's like we're on such different frequencies that like the conversation literally ends itself, right? I'm not even trying to say that to like flex or anything, but it's like, bro, it's because I'm really starting to realize that, like I said, this game that we're playing is temporary. It's a test. It's a test. It is a test. There is a spiritual veil behind all of this. And God is watching. And one day you're going to be judged. I don't think people understand like the gravity of that. Like imagine in the afterlife you're just like in a queue with like millions of people, but like God is kind of just like in the center of everyone, and like one by one everyone is being like publicly judged, and like we can kind of see it instantaneously. We can see like instantaneously on screen almost a vision of just like in a spurt like everything that this person has ever done. And in real time God like casting these people away or like crashing out on them. Just imagine. And that's why it's like all these like girls that are like OnlyFans models and stuff. I'm like, dude, it's not even the fact that you're being promiscuous. That's whatever, do whatever. But like, I think it's like the fact that you are misleading not even hundreds, but thousands of other men to their grave. Do you know, like, I'm not God. I'm not here to judge anybody, but it's like, do you know how God is going to like really handle you? I've done a lot of things in my past, and I'm like, something I gotta constantly be aware of, constantly repent for, constantly try to improve upon. Because like, man, a lot of people talk about being in debt and all this stuff, bro. A lot of people are in spiritual debt, like, and it's not getting paid off by the way that you're living. So the point of all this for me really is just like detaching, detach from stupid stuff, detach from the arguments, detach from the ex problems. Like people still talk about their exes all the time. It's like, at some point you gotta like really detach from the politics, even detach from stupid stuff that doesn't matter. They keep trying to make us, I don't know if y'all notice, but like they keep trying to make us hate each other. Like they keep trying to make men hate women, white people hate black people, Asian people hate these people. It's like, dude, we're not even focused on what they're doing, right? Because we're so busy bickering about stupid stuff like who can say nigga and who can't. What? Bro, they're literally kidnapping people. They're kidnapping children. Like, you know what I mean? And trafficking them. And we care about a word. So detach from these stupid ideas and ideals that people hold. Detach from the dumb ass like gender wars, the black pill. Detach from the mindset, the toxic femininity. Detach from the stupid red and blue politics. Detach from the idea that you need to have $1 million by 21 in your bank account or a girl won't like you. Detach from the idea that you might need to go to college because your parents want you to. Detach from the idea that you need to be perfect, because no one is perfect. I don't know any perfect people except Jesus. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for 2,000 subscribers, by the way. I was MIA doing a lot of different really cool things. Dropped for my clothing brand and just working as usual. But it really actually humbled me, like taking this month off and then seeing that like happen in that time. And, it really made me realize how much more serious I want to take this. So I'll catch you guys in the next one, and I'll catch you very soon. Peace.